Hello and welcome out to this bonus episode of Gamers Council. Yay! We are so pumped and excited, and welcome out all the members that are here. We appreciate you, and we're just gonna go with it, enjoy it, and have fun. And if, of course, you're not watching it live, this will be replayed on Tuesday. Of course, you won't know me saying that until you watch it on Tuesday. But you know. Oh my goodness. Rhetri, look who we got in the house today.
I know. This like we do. We've been dying to get King on, and of course, like we understand he's doing like 6 hours of his podcast and he's not coming to ours for another 2-3 hours. Totally understandable, because I don't even know how you guys last 6 hours on your own. Pause. But on that, like I just want to say we're super happy to have you here. We're glad that we can at least do these special episodes and have people on the podcast that normally we couldn't. We'll be doing some more of this in the future. King, thank you for coming out. I would say thank you of Cypher, but I think he just bounced out. But he's back already. All right, there he is.
He hit the wrong button, I bet you.
Yeah. It's very easy to hit the wrong buttons here. So and thank you, Cypher, for being here as well. My buddy who plays the Fortnite's with me, of course. I'm just happy.
You don't play Fortnite with me, so.
Listen, I've been trying. Galveston just actually was talking to me the other day. He's like, "Get in here." He's like, "I'm playing with King." I'm like, "I'm coming." And like 10 minutes later, he's like, "Well, he left. He went to work." I was like, "Mother, come on."
I probably went to go pick up my wife and work.
That's what it was. I'm sorry. You were picking up your wife. So the thing is like usually when you guys are playing, I'm making videos and working on stuff. But I told Galveston I'm just gonna make my videos late at night so I can play with you guys.
He's a super cool dude. Hella supportive. I love his son. I love everything that he does. And I just met him, through the podcast, and we just started linking up and playing. Like for some reason, people think I don't play games. The hell with them. But I'm just always offline. And we started playing Fortnite, and he wanted his son to jump on and play with us. I'm like, cool. His son is the same age as my son. My son right now is inside playing the PlayStation 5 right now. And I just love the bond between a father and a son. And and Galveston is a man's man, like and I like to consider that. For me, I got that from my pops and my uncles and everything. But it's like it's different. It's weird if you don't know it, right? But if you do know it, it's not weird. And certain things you can hear him say, like his son will go to say something, he's like, son, right? And they're like, don't embarrass me from the company, right?
I know exactly what you mean.
And I'm like, I get it, because I do that with my son. And it's just teaching them proper etiquette early, right?
Yes.
And you want them later on in life to have those things that you instilled in them later on and use it later on. So I was just like, it's so much fun to see, and it's so much fun to have, to play Fortnite with them. It's just a wonderful thing. He's a great father.
Absolutely. And Galveston, I'll set you up here. He started streaming, been trying to help him get into the streaming game, and he's streaming with his son too. So I love to see that. Like I used to watch some streams of like father and son duos just playing Call of Duty, like the 70-year-old dad with like the 30-year-old son or whatever. And it's really cool to see that. So he's starting to stream with the son, which I think is awesome. So good luck on that, Galveston. He's definitely a good dude. He got me into Fortnite. I decided to try it, and he like was like a sensei for me. He's like, this is what this means. He's teaching me everything, and he's like, and of course he mentioned you actually stepped in. Like one of the first times I played, you actually came into the chat, and I got really excited because for me, like as I'm gonna fanboy here, but for real, like on the real, just like being on Boom Show was a big deal when I started. Like podcasters are kind of quasi celebrities to people. Even as a podcaster, like I fan out, like love the King Davids of the world. I love like all these people to us that Cypher's shaking his head, that kind of get put up on a pedestal, even though usually those people feel uncomfortable being
absolutely uncomfortable.
As a
totally I'm trying to like think back to the moment, and I'm sitting there like, I hope I wasn't cursing as much as I.
No, not at all, dude. No, you were cool. You came in.
Was there. I was not cursing. Not once just came out of my head. Like, but if his son is not there, I'm a potty mouth sailor. So
yes,
yeah.
I am too, King. Like Silent knows this, Galvinson knows this. Like they let me know if the children are gonna play with us, I gotta become a different person because I have a trucker's mouth. And if you watch any of my streams, that's pretty evident. But shout out to everyone who's here right now. We got a bunch of our channel members. Obviously, this is going to be a more intimate thing going on here because it's just our channel members, and we're a small channel. We're growing, but we've had astronomical live numbers for a channel that is not very old. I mean, we're averaging on like 150 plus for our regular shows, which beautiful. I didn't think was gonna. I was like, that's gonna take like 3 or 4 years, but the support, right? This Xbox like, community, King of Cypher, it's unreal.
It's beautiful. And Addict has found that whole raid feature. And you know, he went and told all content creators to make sure that they put it on so that, you know, people can raid your channel. Like when they finish their stream, they can send their whole fan base over to your channel and join in and celebrate gaming. I'm not of the get off my lawn, this is mine, I got your mascot for hostage type of dude. I'm not that guy. My thing is it's enough for everybody. And you know, competition, right? Competition breeds success, right? Still sharpening still. So you get a chance to watch somebody else's podcast and you go, yo, I gotta step my game up, I gotta fix this, I gotta do that. And when we got into it, people were doing those little avatars, you know, like when I cut my camera off, does it go black? They go to my avatar, right? And you see the little heartbeat beeping in it. And I found it disgusting. I found it absolutely disgusting. It will post the hell out of me. Because I may not be the handsomest man in the world, but this puss can actually, you know, girls like it, okay? And you know, some guys like it too, right? Pause. But I'm just like, what is the sense? You don't get the emotion. My thing is the emotional connection that you share with somebody, because if you're telling a story that actually is heartfelt or you're upset and you're angry, people want this. People want the real. So when you look at reality TV, that's the reason why reality TV was so huge in the beginning. They gave them a basic bone script and just say, you know, and gave them talking points and cues and say, work from this. And it took away from when, you know, your grandmother and them used to watch Young and the Restless, those, you know, General Hospital, those scripted dramas, those, you know, those novellas, those shows in the day, pretty scripted. And when you got the reality, you saw the emotion, you saw the aggression, you saw off the script, you saw off the cuff. And I felt that those little avatars were like General Hospital. It's just like, I don't get it. I don't feel it. I hear you guys. I want to see it. And then, you know, I convinced the guys. And after a long period of time of
I'm sure
fighting, we got the cameras. And I seen it change. Like I seen it change in all podcasts from that, because all podcasts from that realize I do have something to offer. First, we have to get past our own idiosyncrasies where we feel self-conscious of stupid things. All right. No one's perfect. Not a damn person is perfect. So if you feel like, yo, my lazy eye, put on shades. No, I do not have a lazy eye. You know, they're like, I know why he wears shades. He has a lazy eye. No, I wear shades because that night before Saturday night, I'm usually partying and I don't sleep and I'm doing a podcast right after. So if you think that 6 hours is something, ask yourself, how did that guy stay up 48 hours and do a podcast? The energy.
King, I thought it was because the future for you was so bright.
If that's where you want to go with it. I'll give you the real. But so those aspects change things. And then my thing was backgrounds, right? I'm heavy into people's backgrounds because it gives your eyes something to be pleased with. People, if I'm marketing and I'm giving somebody a marketing tip as far as podcasting go, first start. That's one thing.
Yeah.
That's the toughest part.
You always fix something the next time, right?
Yeah.
Because your first start is your first try, your second start is your second try, and you're not going to ever perfect it. Maybe one day you might reach that apex, that climax of your greatest show that you felt that was your greatest show. But then somebody come and tell you this was your greatest show. I like this show for this. And I'm like, really? That's crazy.
Right.
This show.
Like in your head, right? You didn't have that as your number one. You know what I mean? So but someone else will. Yeah.
Right.
100%.
You always have to give the audience something to play with their eyes. If we're on a visual medium. Now, if you're on Spotify, you have to give them the reason to go to your YouTube. You have to give them the reason to go to. Yeah, you're getting here. You're almost with us.
Okay.
You're almost with
Dova.
us. Yeah.
Okay, so Dova. Close. He's bringing the shade so quickly. That's so fine. Close. Yeah. I mean, I shaved it today. So, I mean, I got receding hairline. Time is not kind anyway. So it's getting me no matter what. But yeah. We're all. Yeah, you'll be there. We're all bald. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm totally with you, King. It's funny that you mentioned that because I started off because of everything you just said about being on camera. Right. I knew I started off on camera and I was talking to people like Umbra and I was looking at RDX and I went backwards and then I got off of camera. But now you're convincing me to get back. Obviously, I'm on it today and people are like, oh, Rhetri's on camera. Plus, I didn't want to get any crap from you. Dave did tell me.
I told him, I
was like, I don't care.
On an episode, I said, you are not gonna not be on camera.
I'm
like,
episode, watch me.
Because he will give you A, so much shit, and B, I want him to feel welcome and know that what his opinion matters to us.
Like,
and it does.
I just won't be on somebody's podcast because they
I've heard.
On camera. Yeah, like it's like okay, whatever. Have a good day. Because I mean, in the beginning we were doing on our cell phones, and you know, Dilla was like, it's so funny. Dilla's like, yo, get off that crappy phone. I said, first of all, my phone is $1,600, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, it's still a crap phone. Get a camera.
Yeah,
step it up. So we did the webcam, and then you know, we stepped it up. We stepped it up with the mics. It's just whatever little that you do get from the podcast, always reinvest it, right? You know, some people I see that, you know, they get from the podcast and they go and they buy video games. Talk video games. Play the video games that you got. But always invest in yourself. Because if you want somebody, why would somebody give you $1 if in turn you don't take that $1 and invest it back into yourself? Right? It's just it's the idea of panhandling. If you're panhandling out in the street, and trust me, if you see a panhandler out in the street and he's doing cartwheels and he's doing tricks and he's doing this, that, and the third, and then you
giving that guy money
that's sitting there with a sign, and the sign says, "Feed me, I'm hungry."
Right.
But you see the guy that's doing tricks and he's doing backflips and stuff like that, and you go, "All right, yo, I'm gonna give it to the backflip dude."
Exactly.
And this guy,
you're right.
You walk past and you're like, I'm sorry, that sign is just that's not doing it for me. Not
like every time I go to New York and I see like the violinist or I see someone sing it, they're getting my money, dude. They just entertain me, whether I ask for it or not. They're getting my money. But and usually the guys who ask for the food, what I've done in the past is I go right to the Boston Market. I literally buy them the food. I give them the food direct.
And tell me, they want it.
They don't want it. They don't want my food because I think they want, they want something else.
Yeah,
they want some less.
They want a video game. Like,
you got that new Street Fighter. You got the new Street Fighter. Yeah. As they pull out their iPhone, and I'm like, what the hell?
No, LA bums are the best bums
the richest
in the universe. I saw an LA bum with a laptop with a screen that was bigger than my
like a
laptop.
Razor.
He had like an Alienware.
Oh no.
And I looked over and he's like sitting there and he's opened up his laptop
He's got the hotspot from his really expensive phone going.
And he has his cup right next to him. I said, are you freaking kidding me?
Oh man.
Because I went out to hand out shirts when we was out there. It broke my heart because you see one part of LA and we're in one part of LA and we having such a great time. And then the cab was like, hey, you ever seen Skid Row? And I'm like, no, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Like, I'm like, and I'm thinking he's like, being like rude. And he takes us through Skid Row. It broke my heart. I got you, babe. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, now you're on camera.
I love that she whistles at you.
She whistles. You're like,
that is great. Yeah.
Right? And it broke my heart. I mean, I've never felt that level of like it's not despair, it's ineptitude. The what is the word that I'm looking for that you can't help. I did feel inept at that time because it was nothing that I can do to fix it. Like you said, it was
to
just
alleviate the situation
so much. And I'm like, oh my, I can't believe that this is happening. This is happening in the country that is supposed to be the most abundant, but it's also happening right around the corner from Beverly Hills. Like I just saw Horace Grant from the LA Lakers right down the block and took a picture with him. To get in the cab and go around the corner and to see this. So I tried to do something with Iron Lords when we got out there. I said, I'm gonna hand out shirts. I had, like 200 shirts. I'm gonna hand out some shirts. And then I wanted to take $200, get 200 hamburgers from McDonald's and hand them out. Right? Just hand out one burger per person. I mean, if I could give 200 people a burger, I was told if I feed one person, the fine is $10,000 per person.
Oh, dude,
and I'm like, but I'm just, handing out. And they said, you got to have insurance. I have to have over a certain amount of millions of dollars of insurance. I have to have it regulated. I have to have this. I have to have that. And if you do it, you will go to jail. And it's the equivalency of don't feed the animals at the zoo type of mentality.
Yeah,
and
right.
I felt just so like at a loss, like how could this be going on? So we tried to do some stuff around it, but I still handed out the shirts. So I was able to hand out shirts, to the homeless and stuff. And hopefully, I don't know. I don't know. But you had a loss for that thing. But yeah, so when we go out to different places, we try to do different things, but there's a lot of things and barriers that keep podcasters from doing those. So when I see Mr. Beast do the stuff that he does, and when people give him mess for it, I'm like, you don't know the hurdles that he went through to get to that part.
Right. Yeah.
Let me help my wife real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good. Absolutely. Yeah. It's Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. And then
I was just gonna say onto Dave's point. Like I see it here too. Like the homeless situation, because we live near Charlotte, is insane here. Like basically, there's tent cities and stuff like that. And I am one of those people. You can call me a sucker or whatever, but I do like to give my money to people that I believe will actually use it for the right cause and stuff like that. So I'm not a fan of people who see bums or whatever you want to call them, or people living on the street and automatically dismiss them, thinking that it's always drugs and alcohol. It's not always drugs and alcohol. I have family members who have been through stuff and almost been on the streets because they lost their house because because the government gave them a loan they never should have got, and medical issues came up. Guess what? They lost everything. Like shit happens. We just got to be more courteous, I think, to each other, but not to try to make this like a dark episode. No. I appreciate King like saying that's why we love,
of course, people
in this community, because they speak their truth and what they've seen with their own eyes, and I appreciate that 100%. Shaun T saying, I always prefer when people are on camera, but I'll tune in regardless if I enjoy the content. I appreciate that, Shaun T. I think I'm gonna have to go on camera more often because I think like King's points were absolutely valid, and that's why I started off on camera, because I kind of knew the engagement would be better. So I guess I'm getting suckered into that.
Oh yeah,
that's
fine.
It's
two
better.
things. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No. You go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, to pair a face.
The whole time I thought my camera was off. Wow, that was crazy.
You're all right. It was off until you sat down, so you're good.
Oh, it was.
That would've been funny.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, I was about to say,
When we saw you
down,
flex,
you
we saw you
put
do
your
all
headset
the
on. You're
things.
good.
I saw you lifting weights in the background.
Yeah,
Cheers,
you
cheers,
told me in my
brother.
underwear. Surprise, world.
Yeah.
This is an OnlyFans
Jeez.
page.
Yeah, look at the twinsies over here. Yeah,
Exclusive.
love it.
You know,
I told my
we
wife, I said,
planned
"Baby,
this.
Baby, give me my blender.
I don't know where we were at, but I want to two things.
Cypher was making a point, I think.
Sorry.
Cypher, do you
Yeah,
want to make your point?
Yeah, I was just saying is like, you know, it's really good to be able to actually put a face to the names that we hear day in and day out, right?
Yeah,
it's
true.
Like, you know, a lot of these people we don't ever actually engage with as far as like playing games, talking to on a regular basis, but it's cool to have a face to tie with that name.
Yeah.
It's just a little more of that connection. And I feel like that's a big part of it, right? Is if you build more of that connection, that relationship with your audience, with your friends, your family, the community, it becomes stronger like that. Like that's why we see some of these audiences so big, is just because it's like a giant community. It's like a giant family get together. So
I just want to know what RDX's special sauce was, besides the fact that they're just awesome. I mean, that's got to be it. Like, how did they, like, man, they amassed a huge audience. And I guess that's kind of where my brain went when I started going off camera. I'm like, well, do I have to do it? But
No,
I mean, to King's points, I think I want to have that connection with everyone, because I'm a big community guy. That's why we have the Discord. That's why I try to play games with as many people as I possibly can, because it's not just about, it's not just me getting famous. That's not why I'm here. I don't make shit. We don't make a lot of money. Like, I'm here.
Rich.
I'm here.
You ain't get your Microsoft check, buddy.
No, not yet. Not yet. It might have bounced. But yeah, we're here for the community. You know what I mean? That's why I joined Double Barrel. That's why I joined Dave. Like, for me, it's community first, everything else second, third, fourth. You know what I mean? Playing games, you know, is right up there. I love playing games with the community. It's awesome. I think Shaun T says no radio faces in here anyways. I
do not have a face for radio. Trust me.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
When we play, you said we play. Did we play a game?
No. You came into our chat. I think we were full up. It was me, Galveston, and I can't remember because this was months ago. Okay. And I got super excited. I've been trying to like game with you for months. Truth be told, I'm like, Galveston, I'm like, just DM me, dude.
Now
just DM me when he goes on. He's playing with you, and
that was the whole reason we had you on this episode, was so he could call you out and play games with you.
Listen,
I'm make you feel bad and play Fortnite with me.
I'm gaming 90% of this period, and I'm gonna give you the period of time from 1 o'clock until 4:45.
Okay.
All right. I'm
That's
there.
Right.
And if I'm not, you know, I'm playing. And majority of the time I'm trying to achieve something in Fortnite. I've gotten addicted to it. I've gotten addicted to,
and I'm a noob. Like, I'm a Fortnite noob. I don't play the building stuff. I do the build. No. But damn, did I get addicted to that so fast. It's my favorite shooter probably I've ever played. Like, because I love it.
You can get a character. Like, I love Rick and Morty.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And this is when I know it was my addiction had reached a whole new high. I still haven't brought the Rick and Morty skins. So I'm such a huge freaking fraud, right? I'm such a huge fraud. I just told you I love Rick and Morty, but it still hasn't bought the skin. But I can buy a skin of a thick Hispanic chick, and I'm like weirdo, right? And there's a story behind that. And if you play Fortnite with me, I'll explain the story one day.
There you go.
But so I see the Rick and Morty, and I'm like, oh my god, Rick and Morty! And then I see Spider-Man run past.
Bingo!
And I had this cheesy kid grin.
Yeah.
And this is the most utopian thing that has ever transpired, that all the characters that you can pick all over the place can be in one game. And when you're like, yo, who killed you? Who killed you? Man, a stupid little alien that's running in the corner.
Yeah. Yep. He blended into the bushes. He chose green because we got the jungle theme going on. He was smart.
Yep. So
And I love it. I just love that aspect of, because we come from arcades. Like I come from arcades, right? I come from shoulder to shoulder,
same here,
quarter on the top, and just very adversarial, like look over, like, right? And I come from that. And then we branched off into Halo, into the house, and we had the 4 televisions and the 16 guys, and we were playing, and we drove Cog's mother crazy. But I come from that. Then we went to Xbox Live, and as toxic as the Call of Duty crowd was, it was still some form of connection.
Yeah.
Right. And now when you see your friends pop up and you can click them and like, hey man, I'm on. We're at a whole different space where connectivity is so important. Like our phones connect. Everything is just so synergized, and I love it. So when you was telling me like, yo, I'm like, did we play? And I'm trying to say, was I nice?
Don't feel bad.
I try to be a nice guy,
nice.
right?
You were nice.
I try to be a nice guy all the time. And I was just like, did we win?
We did win not too long after that. But yeah, so you didn't play with it. You hopped into the chat for a little while and talked with us. I was happy enough that you even came in here. I was like, where? What? Galveston, you know King Day? Yeah, I play with him.
He has my phone
did you
number.
Say that to start with? Yeah, exactly.
Like, he has my phone number. Like, yo, I'm jumping on, and I'm like, because I'm not here. Like, I'm not,
I know.
I leave that to Zeus and throwing them. I'm in the fields with y'all. Like, right. And somebody said, "Oh, now you're a journalist." First of all, and I'm keeping it 100. I'm not a journalist, even though my bio says that I'm a journalist. I did not go to journalism school. I will not take Jason Schreier and Gene Park's hard work of going to school and getting these degrees and all this other stuff and sitting in classes and learning the techniques into being a true journalist. I am, influencer, provocateur, showman, entertainer, right? And I'm here to entertain and have fun with people on YouTube. But at the same time, at the fundamental core of everything, I'm a gamer. Right. And people need to keep that in perspective. That's what, I watch people podcasts and they're so stiff and they're uptight, and the FTC today has shown. Shut up, buddy. Shut up. If I want to see this, I'm gonna go to CNN.
Reading a script.
All right. Or I'm going to go to Bloomberg News, and or I'll tune into Jason Schreier's private page and pay to get all that information, or these lawyers that actually are following the case. Have some fun, man.
Yes. Passion.
Man.
It's gaming.
Come on.
You gotta have passion.
Man. Come on. And I'm watching too many people afraid to make mistakes.
Yeah. Own it.
Yeah,
lean into the mistakes, man. Making mistakes is the best thing. King, I'm also an entrepreneur. I've owned many businesses.
Oh, you're gonna fail a lot.
The best thing to do is fail.
Yes.
Fail. It's
learn.
like King said earlier. One of the best things, like one of the best pieces of advice that I could give anyone doing a podcast is start.
Yeah.
Start. Don't worry about failure. You're gonna fail. You're gonna suck in the beginning too. Like that's just the way it is. You just gotta roll with the punches and keep going forward. You're gonna get haters. I've gotten death threats. You gotta have a spine for this, but you're gonna get the hate, but you're gonna get the love just the same. Like this is a great community. So just if you're thinking about doing it, start. I know some people in this chat have started their own stuff as well. So
I do want to jump in real quick. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm breaking the flow.
Jump in all the time. You just told me you're free flowing, and we
I know, but I love listening to you guys.
Don't apologize.
Hitman is in the chat, and Hitman, thank you so much for being here. Hitman, this wonderful gentleman, he gifted like 20 subscribers,
2 sets of 10s.
Yeah. So that's the reason why we got to do our first podcast exclusive one this month instead of like later on, because it was like we had enough people that we can actually start it now. So he's a catalyst for that, and he's in chat. Thank you so much.
100%.
There's a couple of things I wanted to point out to Rhetri and everybody. Since this is quote unquote members only, it doesn't give us a live count, so we have no idea actually how many people are in.
I noticed that. I noticed it's showing that weird. Yeah.
So if you're in the chat, will you please hit the like button so that way we can kind of get a rough idea? Even if you're just listening, just hit the like button. But if you want to make comments,
hard
questions, please. Isn't that a nice draw? Please, if you have a question, and this is kind of for you guys, so put in your questions. We'll ask him to King and Silent Cypher. We'll see. And if it's something personal we can't answer, we'll let you know.
What's that? Bicep? What's that?
No, it's actually it's out here in Utah. It's the Uintas. It's kind of upside down. I'll stand up after I tell you about it, but it's basically just it's an area that my dad and I used to go camping a bunch when I was a kid.
Aww,
and
I love
when
that.
he passed.
Wait a second.
I'll tell me
you don't want to make the mask.
Oh no, I wish I made the masks.
Okay,
I just collect the masks.
Oh, my heart just beat it a million times a minute.
You were like, "Oh,
fanboy out on you." I was about to fanboy out on you so hard. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
I do love your mask though, Cypher.
I'm going to tell you something, and it's going to make your day. And I'm going to give you his information, but. Go ahead. Tell me the story about the place. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we always went up there. It's in the Uinta Mountains out here in Utah. And we always went there when I was a kid and stuff. And when he passed away, it's like, a lot of people tell you like only get tattoos when you have a reason, when you have an actual reason to get this tattoo. And when I was playing around with the idea, this one just kind of came right to mind that I wanted to get that actual. I had the idea of just right from the shoreline, just facing out towards the mountains, towards the trees, all that stuff. And I was working in the beer industry at the time when it happened. And I was talking to one of my bartenders there, one of my accounts. And I was like, yeah, I've been thinking of going up, getting a photo and blah, blah, blah. And he pulled out his phone. He's like, I just went there a couple weeks ago. And it was literally the exact angle that I was looking for. And it was just one of those things where it's like
serendipity, man.
Yeah. And I was just like, that's what I want. And so I got that and I kind of mocked it up, met a guy local, and he set it up, and it looks freaking awesome. The color stays. It's
I love the color. I love the blue color on it. It looks
I was
really
just like,
good.
yo, it looks beautiful. I don't have the skin tone for that. All my tattoos seem to blend in.
I'll show you since I couldn't, because it's upside down if I show you this way, but it's just.
Let me see.
Looks incredible.
Oh, that's cool, man.
And I'm sure he'll be happy.
All right, I got to show you my tattoo now.
he just froze.
Yeah, you did.
He
that's a perfect moment to freeze up.
Yeah, right. He probably sat down.
You hit a button again.
Funny. That's funny. He'll be back. Too funny. So you're talking about, you have to have should have a good reason to get a tattoo. Well, I used to be in radio, and and we were going to do a live remote at a tattoo parlor, and this is the truth. And so the salesperson was like, hey, what'd be great? They said they could give you a tattoo live on the air because it was a 6-hour live remote. And so it'd have plenty of time to do it, thing. I was like, oh, okay, cool. That sounds cool. And it's like, okay, yeah. So because they kind of want to, dissuade some of the people like, oh, they're real painful to get, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. So he said, what about if we had a contest? I was like, a contest? That was my first mistake. He said, yeah. He goes, on our website, because websites were new then. I'm old. So yeah, we could. So we gave him 5 choices, and we had a vote. Of course, I'll admit now, it was going to be my choice in the end anyway of the 5 things. Right. It was the Playboy bunny. It was the logo from the station. Thank God I didn't get that one.
Oh, Jesus!
It was Mighty Mouse, Tommy Lee's first tattoo, because that was big famous thing on that.
That's a good
and then it was some Chinese calligraphy saying something.
It's always a Chinese symbol.
and then the last choice was Cartman from South Park.
Oh, you got Cartman, didn't you? You got Cartman. I'm voting on Cartman. You feel like a Cartman guy.
You got Cartman.
That's my vote. Yeah, there it is.
You got Cartman.
Knew it. Yeah.
Once you said Cartman, I
knew it was over.
Cartman.
Yeah.
And the funny part after that was years later, I left the station and was a GameStop manager. And one day when I opened the store, a bunch of people were outside and they rushed into the store. And I was like, going to be a good day to sell some stuff. Yeah. Every single one of them, 20 plus people. Hey, you're Dave. You used to be on the radio, right? I was like, yeah. He goes, what's your tattoo? What? He goes, they're doing a contest. And I called up the station, and the morning drive guy who I knew was laughing his ass off. He goes, "You get people showing up asking about your tattoo?" Yeah, so that happened. But yeah,
that's too funny.
All right, so the reason why I was fanboying out really quickly with Cypher's background is because it's a guy that follows me on Twitter, right? And you know how your Twitter gives you suggestions when you go to Instagram and stuff like that. So I'm on Instagram, and he texts me on Xbox, because my gamer tag is King David OTW. So if you look at my name, boom, it's my gamer tag. It's not hard to find. So he texts me on Xbox, and he's like, "Yo, I added you on Instagram. I would love to make a mask for you for Halloween." Right? So I'm like, cool. Think nothing of it.
Yeah.
I have an invite, a friend request on Instagram. I click it and I go, "Oh, that's the name from Xbox." And, I'm on Twitter. I go to his page. He does horror masks. And he has, and this is his business. Those masks are movie prop replicas. So when
he's doing he's a replica guy?
Yes. So when he makes the mask, it looks like those masks that's in his background. So I've seen Freddy Krueger, and then I seen the mask. I'm like, holy crap. Is this the guy? Because he's supposed to send them. Yeah, he's supposed to make one and send it to me. And I'm definitely going to either wear it on air. Well, I'm definitely going to wear it on air. But I'm a huge Halloween guy, and I'm wear it for Halloween. My children are probably one of the luckiest children in the world. One, I'm a video game junkie, right? Two, I celebrate the crap out of Halloween.
Baby. Same here.
Three, for the birthdays, I have 3 children from my ex, and on, let's say it's kid number 1's birthday, we go to GameStop, and kid number 1 gets the $100 for whatever they want, and kid number 2 and kid number 3 get half of what the kid number 1 gets, because it's a celebration. So they get $50 a piece, and they go shopping, right? And it's always like I started that because I wanted to remove the feeling of not to say inadequate, jealousy.
Yeah, jealousy.
Because what I've noticed, like, if you ever seen a little meme where a little girl is singing happy birthday to her sister and she blows out her candle.
Yeah.
So that means that she feels like it's not her day too as well. So I got the kids to the part where they feel that it's a great day. We're anticipating your birthday because we all get to win. We're all going to GameStop. We're all going to have some fun. And it built a huge rapport that they're remembering their birthdays and it's not even their day. And they're ready to celebrate. Let's get to the cake. Let's get to the having a good time. Yeah. And so now when I'm going, to GameStop and stuff like that, my son actually loved it. He has a great time with it. But I went on a weird tangent, but because Cypher came back and
parenting advice by King. You're welcome, members.
But I'm just looking at this. I swear. First, my wife will never go there. That's one, because she's scared of hell of my Darth Maul that I have inside. I have a life-size bust of Darth Maul.
That's awesome.
Nice. And I'm just mesmerized really right now, be honest with you.
Well, I'm glad you enjoy them. I have a handful of them that I haven't even put up yet, but it's like now I got to reassess how I'm going to set the layout.
Yeah. We need a Predator. We need a Predator in there too, because I'm a big fan of the Predator, man. You got
side story.
I'm sure that would be a lot of money though.
You probably got it.
Yeah, no, I wish I did have one. So actually, one of my friends, shout out to Luke, he actually works for the company that did the Predator game. So the Friday the 13th game, Predator, some of those other ones, and so he actually works over on that side of things. And when he was making the Predator one, he was like, I don't see a Predator one back there. And I thought he was hinting at like, he had one or something that they'd given away to internal devs or something that he was sending. I was like, no, I don't. But that would be really cool to see on the wall, wouldn't it?
Right.
And like, he's like, yeah, I don't have one to send you though. You're going to have to find one. It's going to be expensive. It's like, shit.
Yeah, these things are definitely not cheap.
No, they're a couple $100 easy for the Predator one based on what I've seen. And they're a little bit
or
unwieldy.
3D, you know what I mean? It's got. I mean, I could expect that one to cost more than Michael Myers mask. So
yeah, they're a bit unwieldy because those ones, like the head is quite a bit bigger, and so even just trying to display that thing, like you'd have to rework that.
Yeah, you have to have like things that like hold it up. Alien this.
Yeah, this one is. Well, see, you're lucky you're not into my hobby. My hobby is
expensive.
So if you were to get a bust of a Predator and I send it to you, that thing is like 3,000.
Yeah,
like right off the rip. And but it's so incredibly insanely detailed that you think they cut off a real Predator head and put it there. It's absolutely insane. It's the stuff that Sideshow does, Prime One does. I think Sideshow and Prime One is the main one. Prime One does your horror stuff that you're looking for. But when I got addicted to this stuff, and it's just like you have no idea. I have another large room over there. I have another room upstairs that's huge. Had a room back here, but that had to actually be storage, and I had to convert one of the rooms upstairs because of my grandson. So that changed. So more grandkids pop up, less storage space.
You want to make sure no one else has any more kids.
Right? Like I'm looking at them like, man, finish going to college.
Got them fixed. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Box.
Looks awesome from what I'm seeing. I like that glass case you have just over your shoulder.
Oh, yeah. Which one? You talking about this one?
Yeah, that one right there. Okay, that alone probably costs a pretty penny. Those glass cases ain't cheap, man.
Well, the module cases, those are, I think I pay like 200 each. So it's it's each square. And they're lighted inside, right?
So gotta have the lights.
3, 4, 5, 6 here, and I have custom because you can either get them custom made, and I would have did a wall and gave them measurements, but that would have cost me $5,000 and have them shipped. So what I did was, because I was really thirsty at the time, and I was just like, yo, give me the module cases, DF60s, and you can get them on Sideshow, and for like $200, really good cheap price. Be honest with you, because it keeps them dust free, particle free. It keeps the lights inside, and you can screw. It's like it comes with a little screw handle that's in the front, and you just block them off. So right here, I have what is it? The Kingpin with Hobgoblin and Spider-Man. My favorite Spider-Man, 2018 Spider-Man, right here. The next one is the Fantastic Four with Dr. Doom, and I have like 2 Dr. Dooms in there. Over the following one is Thanos. Is a Thanos film. I'm a huge Thanos fan. Down at the bottom is another Fantastic Four. Baby Grogu is in the middle. That's just he's just a placeholder. I just didn't want him to get dusty. And then I have Weapon X over here. But behind me, if you can see that glass case, that's
damn.
Oh yeah, right.
So that glass case, I got that from my friend, and he was selling it because I guess he ran out of space or whatever. Ran to his house, got it. Had to put it together, but I have my Thanos on throne there, Thanos XM Studio in the middle, and my life-size Infinity Gauntlet. So that thing is immense, and if Thanos was a real person, it'd be that size. And then I have the wall of my Avengers over here, where you have Moon Knight, Captain America, Scarlet Witch, Winter Soldier, Ant-Man, Iron Man, Black Bolt, Hawkeye, Doctor Strange. The wild card that I do have in there is Red Skull, Iron Fist, and Wolverine. And then the other room over there is like my Incredible Hulk, Spider-Man room, and I have some cosmic characters there. Then upstairs I had some of the X-Men. So a lot of the X-Men.
You got some stuff.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
But you've got one important thing, King. The one thing that allows you to have all of those things. And that's a really good wife, just like I have. Because without that, you don't get all those. Oh, okay. Yep. Well, that makes it way easier to get all those.
Right. Now she was really good when it came to that. Never bothered or anything like that. Fully supportive when it came to that stuff. You always got to be on the page with your partner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And
like right off the offset, let them know who you are, how you roll. I'm a nerd. Games. I spend money on stupid shit. So come along for the ride.
Time that you're gonna waste. Like we play video games, and what my current wife doesn't understand is leave me the hell alone from this time until this.
It's my time. Yeah.
And I think she hasn't grasped the concept of I'm in a live game. And I can't.
That you can't pause it. Yes.
Yeah. Right. Like
exactly.
Just pause the game and help me grab
all the time.
I'm like,
I'm in Diablo. She's like, you can pause that, right?
Every time.
Exactly.
Every time.
And she always comes in the room when I have like 5 people left in the world.
Right.
And I'm playing duos. Like, yo, we have a wild card loose and we have a team going against my team, and we don't need to be backdoored by no guy. Pause.
Right.
Yo, do you know how many times she's killed me by walking past the screen?
Oh, dude,
like, oh God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Walking past the screen. Yeah. And slowly, I swear my wife slows down when she goes in front of the TV. I swear she does.
My daughter's in the
like
sass, and she'll walk right in front of me, and she'll ask me a question right in front of me.
Yeah.
Instead of walking next to me. And I'm like, kid, you make a better door than a window. You gotta move.
Yeah. Like it's fine. I'll just die here. It's good. It's fine.
Hey, at that moment, you're so irrational. Because especially
because it's just a game.
Fortnite matches.
Yeah.
If once you get your skill level up to a point where they're putting you in lobbies because it's skill based, right? Yeah. So once you get to a skill based level that you're playing with people that are on par with your skill, it's those wins come a little bit far between.
Yes, I've noticed that. Yeah.
So if you whittle down and you're in the top 10, now you done hunkered in. You said, listen, I done got all the stuff that I want. I already put everything in position. Okay, I already got my space and I see where the zone is going. All right, I'm kind of locked in. We're going to find out where the rest of these teams are. This is a chicken dinner. We can do this. This can happen. This is the thing. And then she comes in and says, hey, what do you want to eat today? First of all, I don't cook. Like,
I don't want to eat anything. I want to eat shit. Nothing. I'm going to starve. I'm going to get this win. Alone. That's what's going to happen.
Throw me a banana. Pause.
Oh my.
And you just sit there like, you can't be this person. Why are you this person? And you have impeccable timing. Like, why are you here? So nah. They need to know those boundaries, right?
That's too funny. I love it. Boundaries. Speaking of that, we should probably just get into at least the subjects, at least what you guys are playing. I know one game you two are definitely playing, but in case you can surprise me with some other little tidbits of information, what games are you playing? We'll start with you, Cypher. I know one for sure because you play it with me, so go for it.
Well, yeah, so we're playing that Fortnite, of course. Yes, so I won't bore people with that because we need to just play more of that. But like I was telling you a little bit on Wednesdays, I've been playing a bunch of that Arcade Paradise, which has been a really fun one to mess around with. There's so many of those little mini games and stuff that you end up getting when you buy the arcade machines and put them into there. Yeah. That's been just a lot of fun to kind of just putz around with, like, because you're going off of you're supposed to work like a daily shift, and so you're supposed to try and do different things, focus on laundry, all these different things while you're there. But I keep getting wrapped up on playing all the mini games, and then it starts like notifying me that my washer's ready or the dryer's ready or something. I'm like, damn it, I don't care about the washer or the dryer. I'm playing Bejeweled right now. Like, so it's been an interesting game. Definitely worth playing if anyone here hasn't, since it's on Game Pass especially. It's worth tooling around with. Besides that, I did dive back into GTA 3 Remastered over the
Wow,
last
okay.
few days.
Wow.
That was one where when I first picked it up, it released. Those remasters were rough. They had some issues, and it's quite a bit better now. Plays really good. I don't know. I just that's always one that resonated with me a lot. Obviously, that one, Vice City, and San Andreas were always the ones that I always fell back to, especially San Andreas. Like they were so big. You could put so many hours into them, and the characters, the world, everything was just so vast. So yeah, that's what I've been playing. Pretty short and sweet recently. It's been a busy work week.
Yeah, I feel you. King, obviously Fortnite for you. Anything else you dare test out and try outside of Fortnite?
Okay, so I downloaded Exo Primal.
Okay.
And I was about to jump in, but I was getting paranoid because I didn't see the link from Dave. So Dave kind of stopped my Exo Primal fun.
There you go.
I was playing Need for Speed Unbound.
Oh, nice.
Put on some Diablo. Yeah, for those people that are whatever level and you'll finish Diablo, go to hell.
We're never catching up to them, King. I gave up. Like we're never catching up to these fools.
And you know what? And I don't care. And I don't care because I'm one of those dudes. And don't tell me because all knows Alex, I love you. But don't tell me don't do all the little side missions. First of all, it's 480 something of them, and I want to do them. Right? Because that's the thing. I want to go see somebody.
I will waste as much time as I want.
Exactly. Like I want to know that your dog is possessed. I want to do that. And I want to exercise it. So pause. So I'm there for that. I'm there for all of that. So I'm taking my time. I'm not even level 40 yet. I'm 39. I'll be 40 later. So I'm doing that. Then I threw on my what is that? My Oculus 2. Was playing with that. Then I was playing with the ROG, download some stuff, and I got to get the Casante because I need to be playing Tears of the Kingdom on that because I played Tears of the Kingdom on my Switch, but exactly now, the blurry screen.
You get all the frames somewhere else.
Boy, I'm like, you are an ugly baby. Oh God!
Looks like the kid came over and smeared the greasy fingerprints all over that screen, man.
Who approved this? I had to put on Breath of the Wild to see if I was going crazy, thinking if it wasn't in better resolution, and it was. And I'm like, who approved this? Like, somebody released the rest of the power that's inside the box. You're holding it back. This is disgusting. You're doing me wrong. There's no way in hell that you should put out the part 2 of a game and part 1 looks better. That's evil.
Yeah. Right? That's evil.
Yeah, and you're charged more too. You're evil. But last but not least, I've been playing Final Fantasy 16 in all its 720p glory. And I'm not gonna lie, remove the Final Fantasy name off of it.
Yeah,
it is a fun game. Right? Just like
that's what I've heard.
The Final Fantasy part from it, whatever your expectations to it is that. If they would have said this was what was that broken game that they released early
Forspoken?
Forspoken. If they would have said this was Forspoken and just went with that and just made that world like that, this game would kill without the expectations. But sometimes you want to just take a franchise and put a name on it just to get those extra sales, and they just have to stop capitalizing on the name. And just start putting out these good games without the name and go back to whatever Final Fantasy used to be. Sid and a lot of these characters. Let's get back to that. Let's do those things. Good hardcore stories. This stuff is here. It's good. You're gonna like it. The resolution, you can see a little bit of the problems, but what game doesn't have problems? But that's what I've been playing
these days.
So.
Yeah,
exactly. Really, really nice stuff.
Very nice.
Cullen Prime, what's up?
What's up, Cullen Prime?
You'll love it.
I guess we can get into the main subject, and this is a free for all. I just want to let this conversation flow. And this is just like what are you guys' thoughts
the show was over.
about the well, what's what? Yeah, it's been an hour.
Right.
That's what happens. We can certainly talk. That's for damn sure. Cheers. See you guys later. Yeah, get your shakers. Pause. So let's just kind of roundabout talk about the ABK. What you guys feel about it? Obviously we'll talk later about maybe what's coming next. I know maybe that's too soon, but I don't care. I like living in the bubble world where I think this is over personally. What do you guys think? I'll start with you, Cypher. What are your thoughts about this whole ABK thing? Obviously what just happened with the hearing and then the PI case and all that stuff. Do you think this is a locked deal? Do you think it's going to end, I guess, by maybe Tuesday? I don't know. Give us your inside baseball. What do you think, brother?
I think by Monday morning we end up hearing things. Obviously, that's the smart business move, right? Because you've got the stock market opening up Monday morning, so it would make a lot of sense to drop that bombshell. Prices will go through the roof. It'll be a big win. It'll be a big day for them. Obviously, yesterday was a big day as well, as midnight hit, and we didn't hear anything against the positive, right? But that's my thought. Is I think come Monday morning we're done with this side of the process, right? Obviously, there's still some stuff going on with UK, CMA, all that stuff, right? But I think the core part of the deal is done. So we can actually start seeing some progress on this, right? I think as a podcaster, I'm sure all of you guys run into the same thing, King especially, because the last year and a half, man, it's like I'm conflicted. I'm happy it's finally over to an extent, but at the same time, like it did allow us to have content all the time, be it slow month or slow week,
it's true,
week, whatever.
It's true. And ABK brings in numbers. As much as people in the podcast world kind of bitched about, oh God, we're talking about ABK again. Almost every record breaking show that we ever did on Boom's channel or any channel was talking about the ABK. So y'all showed up anyways. You know what I mean? Like we're all tired of it. You're tired of hearing about it. We're tired of talking about it. But the truth is like at the end of the day, the gamers, we went out, like Xbox gamers specifically. But I'm curious to see what's going to happen with the UK. Is it going to get carved out? Is cloud gaming going to disappear out of the UK, or what is what does that look like? Are they going to use a third party publisher for cloud gaming, which is definitely a possibility?
It's sounding like it. The only other thing that I did want to throw in there though is that it's like you mentioned that obviously it's great for us as Xbox gamers, but ultimately I would say, I mean, yes, we're going to have it in Game Pass, right? So that's a win for us cheap asses especially. But when it comes down to it, I think this is going to be good for the industry in general, because a lot of those studios have been relegated to working on Call of Duty for the most part.
Yes.
And so I think this gives us the opportunity to see some of those old franchises come back, new things come in. I think that's a win on its own. Whether you like Xbox or you like PlayStation or whatever, this allows them a financial freedom that'll benefit us all.
If that happens. Part of me gets a little nervous because business is business. Just like everyone thought it was going to. Why would they get away from the Brinks truck, right? That's probably going to stay annual. So I do wonder at the end of the day, and you can speak on this, King, if they will actually go by annual, or if they'll actually let these guys do some things like Banjo-Kazooie and bring some old IPs back. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I trust that. You know what I mean? What do you think, King?
Okay, so like to piggyback off of what Cypher was talking about. First of all, you got to follow the money.
Right.
If you're not following the money, you're not going to follow the trail. All right. And any good detective, if anybody, because these guys are really talking out of their arse, right? Follow the cash. Follow exactly where the cash is coming from. You saw $68 billion come across the table. Everybody wants a piece. Yeah. Everybody. All right. Some people are underestimating the level of greed,
right,
that will take to everybody's going to get something. And again, if am I questioning Lena Khan's integrity? Of course, because I believe that there at the root of it, there's collusion between the CMA, the FTC, and Sony.
Yeah.
All right, and I believe that there's a level of collusion to down to a criminal level. And I'm going to give you the breakdown of it. They collude, they have meetings, and that information has been known. Why are you talking to a foreign entity? Because you're the Federal Trade Commission and you're governing over U.S. bodies.
Right.
Not foreign bodies, domestic. That is it. Okay. All right. So, and the FTC lawyers were talking points were Sony's lawyers talking points.
Yeah.
Okay. We got that part. Now, that passes. They try to, the injunction gets denied. They try to do an appeals. That gets denied. The reason why the appeals got denied is because the appeal has to go off of, they have to look at the initial denial of the first case, of the initial case, of the whole case, and they have to see if there was any improprieties there. You can't bring up her relationship to her son after they talked to you prior and said, if you want me to recuse myself, I will. The reason why you didn't want her to recuse herself was because you're a Democrat, she's a Democrat. You thought she was going to go with your Democratic views.
You all picked her. You chose that. You chose your fate.
Did.
You picked
Biden. All that. All right. So, but not to get too political, just follow me here. That's where that went. Then you realize it's not going to work out for you, right? You get denied here. That gets denied. The appeal gets denied last night. Now, anybody following the money, if you're following the stock market, they took ABK off the NASDAQ.
Yep.
Now, I'm buying stock and I'm talking to my guy and I'm like, yo, buy more Microsoft stock. And he said, well, how much you want to put in the till? The normal amount? No, do double. Right? I got $500. Please do double. The stock is frozen. You can't buy, trade, or sell. I said, what?
Yeah.
I said, what did you just say? He said, Microsoft stock is frozen. And that's because of this deal. That's the reason why they pulled the whatchamacallit off. So you can't buy, trade, or sell ABK deal stock, and you can't buy and trade and sell Microsoft stock. And that's frozen until Monday.
Yeah.
9 a.m. Monday morning, the CMA is sitting down with Kat, and they're going to talk about some stuff. Right? They have a ruling or trying to figure out some stuff. Have inside knowledge. Certain people are going to UK. I already saw the flights. I already see people leaving. You're only going there because either you need a signature in place at that point in time. We do a lot of DocuSign. But maybe you might need to hammer out certain details right then. And a DocuSign takes time to get it up, to upload it. And you just don't want that information getting out because you don't trust anybody there. And that becomes insider trading and all this other stuff. Because if you have prior knowledge of certain stuff, cool. We get there, we sign there. Now, I told people a long time ago, the money tells the story. This deal been done. Right? The deal been done. The only people that was holding up the deal was the FTC. Now, Jason Schreier comes out and Canada can stop it. Are you smoking?
That was
I don't think so. No. Come on now.
Canada's not stopping it,
Come on.
No.
Oh my God.
And
I didn't even see that, King. I didn't even know he said that. So that's news to me. But
I get all types of weird DMs, and I get all type of snitching on people. And I get it from such random places. And I'm like, and I was gonna hit him up and say, Jason, stop. But everybody needs to sell. Like you said, this ABK deal has got boom record numbers, myself, you say Hogue Law, everybody that's reporting on this, right? Okay,
Florian.
Good.
That dude didn't have a lot of subscribers before.
No, but now he does.
And now he
he's
does.
like the go-to thing.
Yep.
So it's a line was drawn in the sand. You had the people that wanted it to pass, and you had the people that didn't want it to pass, right? And now the people that didn't want it to pass is the PlayStation guys. The people that wanted to pass is the Xbox guys. The console war has never been higher than this year. The tweets have never been better. Meme game has never been more sinister and fun than this year. And we're at the end of it. And we do feel a little bit, oh man, I grew to love this baby. Right? It's so cute. It's giving me so much joy. It has so much memories. Like, you know, they have so much tweets, and you know, people made so much fun of me, and I loved it. We had so much a good time, but it's over. And you know, without this, you don't get hold the line, because I guys just started seeing weird people flip-flopping. I come from an era of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, Bruce Willis, men sticking to it. You know, Die Hard was one guy going up against a whole building full of terrorists. Now, if he had these millennials attitude, he would be like, I'm here, guys. I give up. I'm going to sit down. All right.
It's over.
It's not easy. These guys
Here's my gun, motherfucker.
Like,
here's my gun. You want my ammo?
Here's my
come
gun.
on. I don't want to fight. I don't want to talk. How do you feel today? Get out of here.
How do you feel today? Here's a gold star for you. A gold star for you.
Do you want me to jump off the building for you so you don't have to waste the ammo? Like,
I know, right? I hear. Does anybody need a chamomile tea? Like, no.
Hey, chamomile tea.
He's like, oh, that's right. That's where I draw the line. Green tea is great.
Green tea, right? You know? Do you have any other diabetic special? Like, no, right? Like, I got so fed up, and I'm sitting there, and I just came up with this idea. That's how I'm gonna go with it. You know, when I was in Boy Scouts, when I took ROTC, when I was in these things, the most motivation that I've ever got, besides Tony Robbins, was the drill sergeant, the guy that was there, that, you know, my scout leader. And it was just like, buck up, bro. You're gonna let who? Nobody cares if you're crying right now. Are you gonna stand for something, or are you gonna stand for nothing? And I'm just like, come on, guys, let's get it together. Because right now we're looking mighty weak. And like in the
it's amazing what one little game like Redfall can make people just crack. Like, come on.
But then you
guys, we've been here for 20 years. We've dealt with so much crap. You couldn't, like, one bad game doesn't break the camel's back.
It goes right to the point. Then you wasn't strong to begin with.
Right.
Because if it took something as minor, I told people 1,000 times, they made you care about Redfall. They made you like Redfall. I've never seen that much merch for something I didn't know nothing about in my life. Like, you had controllers, t-shirts, hoodies,
controllers up the ass. It was so many.
And I'm like, like, you know, Cog and them went to go see the game, and they showed them the game on the best running PC, at the most populated spot or whatever, in the very controlled environment. And, you know, even Cog and you know, Saul was like, yeah, we dropped the ball on certain questions, but they masked it so well, and they knew the monstrosity that they did have. Right. And then we hear all the stories behind it. Shout out to Jason Schreier for really doing a great job. That's journalism, guys. And he really did a great job. But okay, so Redfall wasn't what broke your back. What broke your back was your insecurities. And you have to see now is a wonderful meme of a guy digging a hole, and he's trying to get down to the bottom, but I guess he's digging for diamonds, and he gave up. And if he'd have just dug one more time, the diamond was there.
Right.
See it through till it dies. When it's dead and you have no other recourse, then you can walk away from it.
Right.
But don't give up on it when it still has life. And that's what I was trying to tell people. Don't give up. So Monday, it's a done deal, bro. That's done. And I'm talking about it from a financial money aspect of it. It's too much money involved. Too much money is going to change hands for that, you know, not to happen. Microsoft is going to give it to in the UK the cloud distribution to a telecommunications.
I think so too.
No, it's a trust me.
It's a wrap. All right.
Trust me. That part right there, like I already saw certain things and I was like, what? right? And they're going to hand it off to these guys.
Yep.
People, you still have to buy the game from Microsoft.
Yep.
We're talking about just the streaming aspect of it, not the purchasing aspect of it. Purchasing still has to come from the parent company. They were quibbling and squabbling over who gets to stream it.
Pennies.
Microsoft doesn't give a damn.
No one cares about it.
Right. We care about points of sale.
Yep.
So it's sold. You stream. I don't care. Take it. If it falls on your lap, that's your business. Complain to them. We just sell the game. Complain to your telecommunication person, and it happens all across the world. You don't have AT&T. You probably got Comcast as your Wi-Fi provider or something like that. It's all over the world, so it's not an issue. Monday is not an issue. It's $68 billion. Everybody's gonna get paid. Come on, it's just 100%. The money aspect of it.
Yep. Money talks, money rules the world. This is why I said this is like also my argument when it comes to acquisitions, and like Capcom would never sell. They're never gonna. Sega doesn't have to sell. I said, you know what? Look at what Bobby did on the stand when we talked about like selling. What did he say? I had to talk to the shareholders. That's exactly what Microsoft will do if they go after Japan. Which we're gonna talk about next, like who's next for acquisitions. Because at the end of the day, if you take a meeting with Microsoft, right, you have to then go tell your board and your shareholders that guess what? They just offered us a huge premium. If you don't take that premium, you're probably out of a job. No one's going to say, the shareholders aren't going to say no to making a boatload of money. It's just not going to happen.
What was they trading at before? They was trading at 54, right?
I think it was, somewhere in the 50s.
And Microsoft offered them 98.
Yep.
Something where I think it was 98 or 92, something like that. And then it went 6 points up after that and took it to 98. Your board is like, Bobby, if you don't sell, I'll kill you.
Yep.
Like,
I'll be done. Done.
Yeah.
On that. Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say on the big part about the stock exchange thing, they're for them to take them down already, which is, I mean, and then that's what they have to do. Okay.
Ballsy. Love it.
But we know that, and people talk about, well, we might hear something a little later on in the week, blah, blah. No, Monday morning, they couldn't remove it and freeze the other asset, which they're required to do, unless it was their signing paper, they're closing.
I agree.
They could not do it unless Monday is the day. There is no tomorrow.
I agree. Because as soon as I said that, I was like, dude, this is over. Like, you can't. How can you get to that point unless you're certain?
Because wait, we're gonna put it back real quick. It's
you can't put the genie back in the bottle.
Exactly. This deal is
give it a little freezer time so it firms up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wanted to point out one of the comments. I don't know if you got to read that one or not. Did you see it on the screen there?
Hold the line. I am the law. G baby. What's going on, G baby?
That was a good one. That was a good one. And also before we get to our next subject, again, we got just a little more time, but man, I really want to thank you, both of you, for being here today. This has been absolutely wonderful. And like I said, I know we're not quite done yet, but time is precious, and you guys both put in your time today to be here. It means a lot to me and Rhetri, and to our fans, people who watch us. And you talked about how you fanboyed out a little bit about the mask guy. Well, you're gonna have to forgive us if sometimes we fanboy out about you too. Okay,
yeah,
so just saying, because you guys mean a lot to us in the community.
Not little on me. I'll be playing with you in Fortnite, screaming at you, and it's like, he's over there.
Yeah. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. I thought you said you were good at this game.
Throw the splash.
I would love it. The only thing I'm not going to look forward to is if we play, you're going to see how terrible of a player I am. Like, Rhetri carries me.
No, I think you're pretty good, dude. Come on, don't put your dude. You're fine.
Rhetri carries me.
Let me tell you. Let me honestly tell you, the whole thing with Fortnite is it's a team.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Unless you're playing solo. And
listen to his voice silent. This means you have to kind of stay a little bit close to your team. Yes. So listen up closely.
Stay close. Like in the beginning, in the beginning of the match, you can farm out to go get stuff. Don't stay more than 20 meters away from each other. Stay close. And then as the game starts to get tightened, like closer, as the circle gets closer, you get closer to your peoples. And you got to have call out. Like some people will be like, yo, I see somebody over there. Learn how to point them out.
Numbers, yo.
Yeah.
Use those numbers at the top.
Like if you don't know how to point them out on the controller,
right.
point, call the numbers out. They had 304 West. All right, cool. Got it. And then I'll hit the click. But then the team shooting, when you yelling it out and somebody says, well, I'm going to be the distraction, you yell out cover fire. The one dude is doing the cover fire while the other dude is coming behind sneaking. Always, always talk. Communication is the key. We have microphones for a reason. That's the only thing. And you're going to see, you're going to get a hell of a lot of chicken dinners that way. Yep. I had to learn a lot because I wanted to be Rogue Squad #1. And I'll jump in there with a
like
shotgun.
Schwarzenegger.
And they're all around me and they're like, kill him.
Yeah. We've all done it. We've all done it. Because you think you're like, I can take on the whole team.
I got him.
No, you can't. I got this. No, you don't.
It's soft and squishy.
Right? you soft. You turn to millennial real quick when you go out there by yourself.
Yeah. Okay, I give. Okay, please. Please.
No offense to anyone from millennial.
Not like this.
Don't use that Band-Aid. I'm allergic to the material.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God, yo, you're killing me.
Oh no.
So is that aloe? Please don't rub that on me.
Is that aloe?
I've heard that in California, that's got a Prop 65 warning.
Might have. It might have.
All right, for our last subject, because this is a fun one to me, because I love tinfoil hats. I love to speculate, because I don't care, because this stuff's fun. Right. And gaming's supposed to be fun. Let's talk about, and this could be anything. We saw the list during the hearings, the 2021 list of the acquisitions that Microsoft wanted to make, and how they whittled it down from 100 to 17 guys, and Sega was one of the finalists for publishers on that list. I just want to ask you guys 2 questions. What do you think Microsoft as a company should acquire? Publisher or developer, doesn't matter, whatever you want, you can go wild with that. And what do you want as an individual, as a gamer? Because those are usually 2 very different things. They are for me. So I'll start with you, King. What do you think Microsoft should do, and what do you want to happen?
All right, one, they're gonna go over to Embrace a Group, and they're gonna go pick up their bag that they picked up for them. I think Embrace is the homie. I think Embrace understood what they were going through. Crystal Dynamics is inside the building working on Perfect Dark right now. So and IO Entertainment is already contracted by them to produce a game that is only on Xbox. All right, so with those 2 leads right there, that means that this was stuff that they wanted to pick up. And if you looked at the paperwork told you they wanted to pick them up. They just couldn't do it at that point in time, because if they did pick them up, they would convolute the deal at this moment right now. And this deal is bigger and has more priority over everything. So, hey, Embrace a Group, what's up? Here's a premium for what you picked up. Thank you for holding me down. Love you guys. Give me my team. Right? And they're already working.
It feels more possible now, King, too, because didn't they just have a bunch of layoffs? Was it Embracer? Yeah.
So, well, Embracer's prettying themselves up to be sold.
Yeah.
Right,
feels like a Square situation almost with Embracer. Feels kind of a little similar.
Money's out there, right? So when you see 68 billion come across the table, you're like, oh, they got money. Like,
right. There's your rich friend and your really, really rich friend.
I didn't know you had money like that. What's up?
Hey. You got money.
You taking me out Friday night, right?
I thought we was hanging out, but we hanging out.
I want sushi and lobster. Let's go.
For real, right? Yeah. When you ordering for real from the menu.
Yeah.
So okay. I love that guy. God, you're ridiculous. All right. Good day. All right, so they go get them. And that's pretty much par for course. I thought they was gonna do that anyway. Sega's next.
Yeah.
Sarabon has Sarabon.
Shout out to Sarabon.
Eyes on that. But this is where the problem comes in, right? A foreign country to purchase their those entities, it's a little bit harder.
Yes.
So what you would probably do is you would probably go in there and get a controlling stake of the company. That way you will never have to go through the regulators, FTC, none of that stuff. You will never have to see them. You just buy a large amount of shares of the company that you have a controlling stake in the company, so that company becomes part of your own without being fully owned. Right? Okay. So if that makes any sense there.
Yep.
Square. All right. I believe Square is the next target. Square was going to be prettied up because when Square was being prettied up before, we thought they was being prettied up for Sony. No, Sony has been getting milk from that cow for years. Why buy it?
Yeah.
Right. So you saw when Sony had money, they didn't go to them, they didn't look to them, they went and they purchased Bungie. You have that $3 billion. Why didn't you go purchase your mans in them? No, I've been dating her for years. She's in the bag.
She's always gonna be there.
Yeah, look, Final Fantasy comes to me anyway. I don't even got to do nothing special. She's there. She's clean. I don't care. All right, so that's their aspect. That's their thought on it. I think Square, and the reason why Microsoft and Square had a falling out because they were on the table to be purchased, and they came back and they probably doubled up on the money. I've heard something weird, like they asked for more after the initial offer,
right? Which sounds very much like Square, so that
Square
didn't really
stuff,
surprise
right?
me.
Yeah, right. Like we want double the frames.
We
we heard about
the
resolution, right? So now that part is they're gonna go in there, and I think Phil has a bone to pick with Sony, and I think that's where that goes in. I don't think it's Capcom, and I don't think it's Bandai Namco, right? But the problem with Square, remember, Sony went in there and purchased a large portion of some stocks, and at the same time, Tencent did the same thing.
Yeah.
So is Square willing to relinquish the remaining ownership of those other stocks that will give Microsoft the control and stake inside stocks, or will Tencent be willing to sell their shares of their stocks and Square come up off of some of their stocks in order for Microsoft to have a controlling share larger than Sony? You know, at that point, because they did give them a cash influx, we need to know the aspects of that. But I think Square is that. Now, my pie in the sky, my dream, Sony's entertaining the thought of being purchased by Netflix. This is my weirdo king scenario. Microsoft continues to beat the brakes off of them, starting from Starfield, and I can honestly tell you guys, once Starfield hit, it's like in a fight, in a heavyweight fight, and once Mike Tyson lands that uppercut, you know he's coming with that. You know, it's not the uppercut. What's his combination? The hook to the body, then the uppercut, right? So he gives you the hook to the body, and he brings the uppercut. Microsoft is going to land that first hook to the body, and then the uppercut is coming. Then the right hand is right after that. And then it's going to be a fury of punches, and the fight is going to be over. They're going to stop this fight. The games are going to keep coming. We have not heard about the new Doom. We have not heard about the new Unreal. We have not heard about all these games that we do know that are being made. We have not heard about the Perfect Dark. We heard some rumblings about the new Halo. We have not heard about all the stuff that they do have in tuck. And these games are going to start coming at a cadence that you will not be able to stop the blows.
Right.
So Sony is either going to get down or lay down. They're going to either be purchased by Netflix, which I think Netflix makes the perfect choice because they can partner with them without being wholly purchased. Somebody told me Apple, and I said no. If Sony goes to Apple, they will lose their identity.
Yeah.
All right. Apple usually purchases things and wall gardens it off, and nobody can access that, right? Not.
I mean, doesn't that sound a lot like Sony though? I mean, it sounds like a good marriage, right?
No, what
walled off gardens.
Sony has right now learned to share with the PC. They've learned to try to share with the mobile. They're spreading their wings now.
They are.
Netflix will give them the opportunity to spread their wings in all aspects, in cross media, in movies, in shows, in video games, in cloud streaming, because they do use AWS. You know, this thing, it will grow. But I think Microsoft steps in, put more money on the table, and purchase them. And I think the stockholders, shareholders say, go with the bigger bag. I want Phil's end game to be to purchase Sony. And I'm going to tell you, if that day ever arises, ever, I'm going to have to open up an OnlyFans. And I'm going to go streaking. Because and I'm going to give to every Patreon member the key code to the OnlyFans.
I love it.
Because that is the ultimate F you. That is the ultimate F you. And I mean, I know it's unrealistic, but they asked me to come up with what I want.
Exactly.
And that's what I want. I want to be able to open the OnlyFans. And the only way that can happen is if that deal actually happens. And Microsoft, I know Microsoft, if you thought they paid $68 billion for ABK, I'm pretty sure they can find another $40 billion for Sony and just throw it on. They don't want the movies. Keep your movies. We just want your PlayStation division. We want the name so y'all could become nothing. We got your mascot and we won't give it back.
That's right. Shout out to Parappa the Rapper. Awesome game back in the day.
Yeah.
Love that game. Yeah. Cypher. That was spicy. I don't think you can really beat what the hell I just heard.
Good luck.
But I still want to hear your thoughts. Obviously, what you think Microsoft is likely to do business wise, because I know you're good on the thoughts on the business side as well, just like King is, and your thoughts on what you personally as a gamer want to see coming in for either a publisher or a dev. Go for it, brother.
See, I'm super happy that you actually sent it over to King on this one, because I knew he was going to say this way better than I was going to. So I'm happy you started off with him on that. And I have to, honestly, I have to parody a lot of what he's saying. Or I've got to combine that same thing. Like, I agree 100% is like, I'm right there with him on that with a lot of this. I think Embracer, with the recent situations that have happened with them, everything that's going on, it makes a lot of sense for Microsoft to get in there. And the thing is at the moment, they can't necessarily make a move like that without getting a lot of scrutiny. So if you buy out the stocks, like he's mentioning, that's the smart move, because that allows you to get in there, that allows you to leverage that and not be super on the radar.
Right. Like you're talking like at majority control, like King was saying.
Yes, majority control on stock.
Right.
I think that makes a lot of sense. I agree with grabbing the one or two teams are already helping. Like it makes sense already anyways. Like, why wouldn't they say no to that? And Embracer and Microsoft obviously have a very, very cohesive relationship from what we're kind of seeing with all these different little agreements and some of the things that they've done, like with Perfect Dark Zero as a prime, or Perfect Dark, not Zero, sorry. Perfect Dark as a prime example, right? Is like, they obviously have a relationship there. There's lots going on there, and it would be a really easy conversion for them since they're already on the team, you know? Besides that, obviously going right after that, the next thing would be Sega. And I agree 100%. You look at the relationship, the way that relationship has blossomed over the last couple of years, especially. You know, we never had Yakuza. We have Yakuza now.
Yep.
We have all of the Yakuzas. So, you know, it's one of those things where you're seeing that relationship unfold, and we're starting to see all of that intricacy as the last couple of years have gone by. We see more and more and more coming from them. The relationship is growing. I think it's inevitable that Sega's the next one. To keep it short and sweet, I agree with King. Completely.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to add on too much because I think there's a difference between what I think Microsoft should do and what I want them to do.
Sure.
For me, Sega
Sure.
ain't it. Sega's not it personally.
Okay.
I like Persona. I would take Capcom, but I know that's not going to happen. Here's the thing, right? Like I know, like in my opinion, Microsoft only has so many more moves left for publishers. There's only so many guys left on the table. So if you go after a big guy, you might be screwed out of the other guys. So like business wise, if you have to make a decision, if you think you only really have one left, I'm going Capcom because I have trust in Capcom and they've been killing it lately. Although if you play Exo Primal, you might change your mind. I'm just going to say that right now.
Oh man,
I know. I'm sorry. I had to say that. I was streaming it last night. I gave it I gave it another chance. Cypher knows he was watching. I was playing with Galveston. It's rough. It's rough. And Capcom, we trust though. 9 out of 10 times they've been killing it. They're on a wicked streak. To the point of Sega. What's nice about Sega is the untapped resources and IP, the back catalog. I mean, they got Bayonetta. They got Bayonetta. We could have Bayonetta on it. They just gave it to Nintendo to publish it for them, but they own that IP. Like their IP is super deep in Sega, which is why I think it's great in that regard. But Capcom feels like the way I would go if I'm going after Japan. Bandai Namco would be nice, but we know the situation with that's tied into too many different things. But for a business, I say go after Capcom. Probably not going to happen. It's going to be Sega. It's going to be Sega because the relationship. It just makes there's way too many connections. It makes way too much sense. Their market cap is extremely affordable to Microsoft. It's not a crazy buy in my opinion, even though Japan is harder to get into. But hey, Tango Gameworks, guys. Bethesda did it. But if what I want to outside of Capcom is I want WB, all of it, the whole damn thing, not the gaming division. I want it all, dude.
See,
because I know like King. Yeah, it is tricky. And look, I think they could parse out just like Embracer Group. I think they would parse out because they're hurting right now. They're not looking too great. Yeah, they're in a bad position. And what I want is what kind of Sony has in a way. I want some of I want some DC. I want some just like they're owning Marvel right now, and they're probably gonna have more Marvel games. I think we need some superhero games to combat what Sony has got, and that you can get that through WB as well as one of the best fighting games on the planet.
One question.
Go for it, King. Yeah.
And it's just to that. I'm not even gonna go crazy because I get along with it. My curse.
Blessing.
Just the game division. I'm with you. Please explain to me why they would need the movies.
They don't need it. I want it. So there's a difference. Listen, King. All right. So now I'm talking.
Endeavor, right?
Okay. Now it's
because there's the Microsoft side. This is me. This is me wanting to get stuff like shows like The Last of Us. Like we got Fallout show coming on Amazon, which I have a very, very good feeling about. I do want to see Microsoft taking their IPs and getting into more television and TV shows and movies. I would like to see that. And 9 times out of 10, when we see stuff that are coming out to streaming, or we hear about, these guys might be making a movie on this IP or a TV show on this IP, almost every time everyone goes, man, I hope HBO is making it. Why do they say that? Why do they say that? Because usually HBO does it right.
Yeah.
Which Netflix is kind of a 50-50. They've been much better with their stuff, now. In my opinion. They're definitely doing better. But when you hear, no offense, I wasn't a fan of this, but when you hear, Halo's going to Paramount, the second I heard that, I went, shit.
All right, but to Paramount's defense, Showtime made it.
Right. Showtime made it. It pushed out on Paramount, which is weird to me.
What it is Showtime made it and saw that it was ish and said, okay, who wants to buy it from us to distribute it? And Paramount said, I do, because we do space. All of Paramount's stuff is Star Trek, Star stuff, and space, and Halo is a good thing that they can add to it. I understood it when it happened, and also Showtime is really at the end of their rope.
Yeah. I think so too. I think they're in trouble. But for me, it's just me being greedy. I just want the whole enchilada. Like I want it the whole pie. Because it's like, hey, you can get all the gaming. And I know that probably wouldn't happen. I think if they did go after WB, they probably wouldn't touch that side anyways. It doesn't make sense for them. It just makes sense for me.
I'm reading
because I'm greedy. But
it's WB full stop. Like
I'm not alone, man. I got Umbra on my side. I got Danny on my side. I got some people on my side on WB. It's also you got was it Dark Horse Comics? So you can pull out a lot of IP. Right? Wait, listen. I'm not comparing Dark Horse to Marvel. Let's not go there. But I'm saying it's something.
I'm just saying this. They invested hugely in movie. You don't remember that whole TV movie? They brought a whole studio in Hollywood Boulevard and had the whole block squared off.
But now it's okay because PlayStation did it, right?
No, but it's not.
Now it's okay.
Sony, though.
No,
they started off in movies.
Yes. Yeah, Microsoft's tried this in the past. They got slapped for it
horribly. Yeah, the only good game we got that was Quantum Break. And we can't even get a part 2.
That makes me sad.
I mean, you're not wrong. Listen, I want good TV shows and movies from these IPs. I want a good Gears. I want a BioShock horror movie. That's what I want. Look, we're talking about being greedy. I'm being greedy. That's just what I would like to see happen. Do I see it happening? Probably not. Probably not. It's gonna be Sega.
How to ride cowgirl first before she learns reverse cowgirl.
Good point. Right. I'm asking for a lot.
No,
I know that. I know that. I can't. I'm greedy. I'm greedy, King. Like, look, I want it all to come to Game Pass. Like this consolidation is bad for gaming. I'm like, not for my wallet. Like it's great. Like every time I save $70 when they put into Game Pass. So I'm all about it. Yeah. It cleared. Thanks for the new house, Expo.
Rhetri, to quote the late great Michael Clark Duncan from Slam and Salmon, if ifs and buts was candies and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. And that's how I feel about you. That's how I feel about your hopes and dreams on this one, sir.
I love it. He had me until that part.
Yeah, the James Gunn thing.
Let me read that again.
Oh yeah.
Which one?
He said Warner
Brothers
Prime sell the games division because James Gunn has plans for game signing. That's not true, sir.
That's a perfect reason to get WB because James Gunn is there.
That's absolutely zero truth to that, because Discover is trying to get them out. Right? They want to stop producing comic books and they want to go to full digital comic books.
Yeah.
And my hope was for Disney to purchase WB. That was my hope. Because then I can finally get the DC versus Marvel movie that I've been clamoring for my whole life, right? I got the comic book. I almost died as a child. But to finally actually get it on screen, I think Disney is the only company that can save movie division.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers.
You might be right on that. You might be right on that one. Yeah.
Because we can actually get it in Disney Plus, all the shows that we want, and you can have a one-stop shop for your heroes fix. But what Disney didn't do to Marvel, was neuter them when it came to comic books. Comic book sales, if they didn't just stagnate, they maintained a level of sale, right? That they weren't defunct. Because it got to a point where the reason why Marvel did have to sell was because they went into the red. But what we want is for comic books to stay, viable. The only way that can happen is if a company that is invested in that. Discovery is not invested in the comic book sales itself, and that's why we see the decline of the DC books. And we see weird stuff happening there. I don't want that to happen. Sell it to Disney. and let the comic books live. And the games division, Microsoft buy them. I don't care, get them. Yeah.
That's my crazy thought. Dave, what about you? Like, what do you think Microsoft as a company should do versus what do you want to see happen for your own greediness, like me?
Okay. Well, what I think is going to happen, should happen, is all the things that the King, Silent, and yourself said about the pick up the studios first thing that are hanging out there, that are standalone studios that are not publishers. I mean all of them that they need. All ones they work with, like Asobo,
IO,
as well as exactly IO. There's a lot of good teams out there that they can pick up, and maybe even a few teams that we're not thinking of that could maybe help with the offsetting once they acquire of the ABK deal, so that Call of Duty is maybe diversified a little bit to some other teams, so that the ones that we know we want.
So Toys for Bob,
exactly. Toys for
Bob
can
fucking
maybe
around with COD,
and spend a couple of years.
Raven.
I mean, it's just a thought.
We're in crazy town now. I'm probably with you. I'm with you, King. I don't think it probably happens either, but
I do still think they should definitely do a year after year thing. I mean, they should continue to do that, but I don't necessarily think I mean, yes, it's worked as far as the overall productivity, but you definitely have people that are creative that want occasionally to try and do something different. I mean, isn't that right? I mean, wouldn't you think so?
That's what they keep saying, and that's why we got Hi-Fi Rush, and that's why I kind of we got a Hi-Fi Rush, but we also got a Redfall. But whatever, like I'd rather have Xbox stay weird and let the Tim Schafers and guys like that do weird stuff, because we're seeing Sony do the same damn thing, the rinse and repeat style, and I don't want that from Xbox. I want some weirdness, so I embrace what Phil said. He's like, yeah, we made some mistakes, but what I will not do is tell these creatives who are the creatives how to be creative. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I respect out of Phil. When he said that, I was like, that's my guy. That's what I want. Yep. That's what the future of Xbox should be. Let the creatives take chances, man, because you don't get Hi-Fi Rushes if they don't take chances, because they just would have made another horror game, right?
Yeah, okay.
And we got an excellent game, right?
So back to let me finish up this part real quick. So
yeah, you're good.
And I think that Sega, I think that is a good purchase, but if it's better as far as the value wise go, and it doesn't trigger anything to purchase their stock up to where you have controlling interests, if that's a viable, better way to go, that's what they should do, because they can still get all the stuff to that they need. They can have control in where the goes, and it's still standalone because they're still doing their own thing without the burden of Microsoft having to take them under the wing and take over all aspects of running that particular company. They can kind of leave them standalone a little bit, but still have oversight and control over everything that's going on with them. That's my thinking. Square Enix, I know a lot of people don't like it for whatever reason. I get it. But for me, if there's an issue with some of the people that have made stupid comments in the past, that are game developers, then those are people that you fix, like you're fixing ABK, and you root out the people, and you set in new precedents and new policies that enable a better environment for people that work, so that they're going to be able to produce the things that you want. Also, and then this is the last part I'll say on that, is they have so many great franchises at Square. I mean, Final Fantasy is it's super big, super great, super awesome. In Japan, the biggest is oh my gosh, Dragon Warrior. Dragon Quest. Those
Dragon
are
Quest,
10 times bigger.
Yep.
Well, Dragon Warrior in the US, Dragon Quest in the is what it used to be in the over there. But they're so much bigger and popular. They had to make a law in Japan that you couldn't release a game during the week because of when the games came out, and they had
no productive work,
80% work drop off. They cost the country billions in productivity that particular couple of days because of the game drop. That's not made up. It's not a whatever. It's the truth, and it really happened, and it's awesome that it did happen because we know that those games are so popular. It is the big thing. I mean, they have so many other.
I had a stupid joke in my head.
Go ahead.
The reason why we don't see that rate because gamers don't work.
That's why we can podcast so much.
Thanks, buddy. I'm here all week, and then the week after that.
Life in this, I got mad platinums. You don't work.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Oh, where's my welfare check? Right there we go.
I love that you like this side of the room is all like you guys definitely like Square. The reason I always poop on Square is because I just don't want Square, and it's just because their games don't necessarily resonate with me personally, but it would certainly let the salt flow in epic proportions if that were to happen, though. So, on that regard, I'm kind of be okay with it.
Yeah.
But
how did the Sony fanboys' face look when their paperwork came out and they had an actual proposal paperwork for Square?
Right.
They had an actual.
A little heart attacks going on there. Hearts beating. We're like, whoa,
what?
Wait, what?
Like what? What? Like,
well, that was on the table. Uh-oh. Yeah.
Like, yeah, buddy, your girl.
A lot of people on that list, man. A lot of publishers, a lot of devs. Like we said, they're not done. They're not done.
No, they're not done.
Phil said, and Satya said there's still acquisition season. Like, if I've said this from the beginning, if this deal got blocked, you will make a monster like you've never seen.
Bingo.
Because you would force them to be what you want them, like what you
don't want them to be.
Should be. No, they've always said that Microsoft, because they're $1 trillion company, should be doing this, should be doing that. You should be if they acted like $1 trillion company, brother, there wouldn't be no PlayStation. If they did that back then, if Phil was in charge back then, it wouldn't be a PlayStation now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the fact that they will be able to take their money if Satya was there. Because I think Phil alone doesn't get it done.
Right. Speak on it. I agree.
Phil needs Satya. And then
100%.
I think
perfect combo.
Phil with Matt Booty gets it done. I think Phil with Sarah Bond gets it done. I think the assimilation of the Avengers within Microsoft gets that done. Without them, none of that stuff happens. He said we got proof that of that, King, when Phil got ZeniMax. Yeah, Phil got ZeniMax because Satya told him it was cool to spend the bread. Right before, remember, Donnie didn't have the ability to do that, so that's why he had to go get the NFL deal. That's why you heard TV, because they had to bring in enough money to show you that this is a viable thing. And if TV at that time was the cash cow, bring in the NFL. And I do miss my NFL pass. I was able to say Xbox split screen, and it was able to split screen and show me the football game while I was playing my game. I do kind of miss that stuff, you know.
Same here. Hey, it's a new era, man. What's nice is Xbox ain't going anywhere, and there's no signs of slowing down. And competition is a good thing. Competition is great for Sony guys because they're gonna have to get weird. That's why you're getting all these weird gas games coming out, which probably 2 out of 10, as we said, Silent will probably be the only successful ones. But it is what it is, I'm just happy that Phil was able to convince Satya and everybody to keep the Xbox division alive. Without Phil, we're done, in my opinion. So, praise Phil.
Yeah, the worst thing that you can ever hear is the guy that has access to a bunch of money. Because I know when they heard, what was that guy? I was about to say Al Capone.
You talking on the Microsoft side?
Yeah,
when Terry Myerson.
Nah, not Terry. Yeah, forget Terry. Terry was bad.
Yeah.
Bad Terry. No, but I was giving a Scarface. The worst thing you heard when Scarface said, "You want to play? Well, say hello to my little friend." and you knew he had the guns, right? So right now, y'all already got filling them in that you want to play mode. And Satya said, "Oh, you want to have competition? You don't want a billionaire to tell you, well, let's play around now. Well, let's do it then."
That's F around and find out. That is, they got the F around and find you money, and now everyone's starting to see it. They ain't playing games no more.
This Call of Duty, I cannot wait until it releases this year. And when you go to turn on your PlayStation and it says Microsoft Studios.
I hope they make the splash screen like 2 or 3 times the length, just so they can really
just stays there, like it's
so
a game
so they can really bask.
It's not broken.
Can blow up their TCLs.
We're just letting you know they're TCLs. Exactly.
All TCLs across the country go. Poof, poof, poof.
Exactly.
It's smoking. I don't know what's going on.
Must be my PlayStation. Oh, sorry.
Put 12 teraflops. Make it use 12 teraflops. Since you don't want to give dev kits, make it a full 12 teraflops and watch the PlayStation smoke, baby.
That's right. That needs to be in the next shirt, by the way. I really like keep them keep the dev kits. That's hashtag keep the dev kits. I love that. Just keep
y'all have a merch store yet?
We do. Yes, we do.
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
We do.
Oh, let's go.
Okay.
Good ideas. You got some good ideas.
That's funny.
Let's go.
Let them keep them.
Merch. Let's go.
I was watching some of C Money's stream last night. Him and his wife, and they were playing Final Fantasy, and 3 times while they were playing a playthrough on it, their PlayStation died 3 different times while they were playing it.
Shout out to C Money.
Overheated.
Good people right there.
And they were. He was like, "Oh, you fucking yeah."
That's
I don't wish that on nobody.
But
that's a lot of
they
money.
kept going back to it, and they tried to keep. Oh, but it was
I just kept booting up my 360 after I got the red ring. I think I got the red ring twice.
Yep, you wrap it in the blanket, right? You give that thing a big old hug. Oh, I did that.
You know what I did? I did the hood version. Go to GameStop and say, please just turn on. Please just turn on.
Right, yeah. Like, I'm selling this, sir.
Yes.
It's in perfect condition.
Yeah.
Dude,
you will see it. It turns on. The red light's totally normal. Oh shit.
I can't tell you how many people tried to pawn those off on us when I was still working in the game industry. Like when I was working at the game store.
Yeah,
that's right.
We were there for that. Yeah, we were there for that red ring of death. And it was
that must have been a joyful time in the retail industry,
especially when you didn't know what was happening and you didn't know it was that widespread,
right?
Until they started coming in. Yeah,
dude, we had an office full of those things, probably 7 or 8 feet tall. We were stacking them because you had so many.
And shout out to GameStop for giving a warranty.
Yes.
And Microsoft had to give them that bread because they suffered the most casualties with people coming back to the store, because I made sure I brought me a warranty from GameStop. There's no questions asked. It's like Best Buy.
Yeah.
Best Buy, something go wrong with Best Buy, I don't give a damn. Take it back, give me back my money.
Yep. I did the same thing with my ROG
before
Ally.
we get too far out of here. Colin Prime asking, do you guys think that Sony will be spiteful and not allow COD on PlayStation? Hell no. Not a chance in hell. It's not a snowball's chance in hell.
I know
they might be petty. Yeah, I don't think they'll go that far. But King, I don't know. What do you think? You got any different thoughts?
No,
or you think
what he's talking about is so you're talking about the Jim trying to get out of the marketing deal.
Yeah.
Right. If he's talking marketing, okay.
Yeah,
that might be different. That might be different
because it leads to the bigger problem. All right, so early on, and this is really quick. Early on, Jim tried to talk to Bobby about getting out of the marketing deal. Bobby tried to double down and said, "Listen, what we'll do is, if the deal goes through, we'll extend your marketing to let's say 4 years from now." Jim was like, "No," because Jim saw the long game. Even if I'm marketing the game is going to go into freaking Game Pass. I'm going to be marketing a $70 game that's going to be free inside Game Pass, because it's not essentially free, but it's someplace else that is cheaper, and I'm marketing it. So what I'm doing is really steering people to the competition, right? So Jim wanted out of the deal. Bobby said no. this is the reason why the phone calls wasn't being reciprocated by Jim. Bobby just kept trying to call to extend the deal, to fix the deal. Jim didn't want to have any dealings with it. Now, somebody said, well, then he won't allow Call of Duty on the platform. That's not it. They give ABK a deal because they have the marketing rights. It's not a traditional deal. So they waive like a fee. I forgot whatever the fee was, but they waived the fee. And that fee turns out to be a lot of money, but they made the money back with the marketing rights of it. So Jim wants out of that because that fee now, those deals that break will be given to Microsoft. And all that money, that $825 million will be given to Microsoft without them paying that gamers deal. See, they pay a regular fee to have Minecraft on their machine. They pay the regular, just like everybody else. You're not different. Call of Duty is a little bit different when it comes to that, and that's what Jim was trying to avoid.
Yeah, I mean, and the marketing side, I thought he was just talking, but the marketing side, that actually makes a lot of sense
but
to me.
Also, somebody was saying, well, they just won't let Call of Duty on the box, and they was running with that for a second.
Yeah, that's what I was saying no to. I guess is what I was saying. Marketing, I could see that. You're like, we're gonna pay you to promote your product. No, we're good. Like,
you're gonna do that this year, buddy.
Yep, that's right. Love it.
I love it. Well, as we start to wrap things up and we're getting ready to get everybody out of here, and we've had such a great day, I just got to play it one more time. This is the reason we're all here, because of Almighty Phil. And what's his name? What's Phil's name?
Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer.
This is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists.
Good times.
End scene. It's over for you.
And then you hear Sony screen.
Game
Pass. Thanks, Jim.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, I love this day. Oh, this is so awesome. Oh my gosh, guys, thank you all so much for being here, making this happen. I can't thank you guys enough. And this is going to go down as a super bonus episode, and kicking us off on the bonus ones. And hopefully, King, someday I won't bug you, I promise. But maybe someday in the future we can get you to come back again.
Oh, definitely.
Because you are absolutely amazing and such a pillar in the community. Thank you, sir.
Our interview that you conducted, I couldn't stop singing your praises.
I appreciate that.
And to see you align yourself with my brother Boom, it just brings joy to me, right? Because I like to see like minds together. I like to see good people together, and it just it just feels like Thanksgiving when I see you guys. So it's fun. It's a good time. I know we're gonna get the Cowboys versus the Giants or whatever on the Redskins or the television. Oh, they don't call them that no more. Oh, look at that! Look how soft we are. What they call them now?
The Commanders,
the helmets,
the helmets, the jerseys. They just showed up.
We can't get the jersey. How are we gonna say we can't call these guys the Cowboys and we can't? It's just come on, people.
I know. Yeah, they're soft, man. They didn't grow up like we did, King. They did not grow up like we did.
We used to drink from the fire hydrant.
Exactly. Who the hell was just saying that the other day to someone? Yeah, we used to drink out of the fire hose. We didn't know there was plastic coming out of it.
We didn't care.
We're built different.
Hell yeah, we were strong as hell. Like strong as hell.
I love it.
Mosquitoes bit us and got hurt.
There you go. King, as we tell everybody, because I know you got a big weekend coming up. Tomorrow is going to be super big for Iron Lords, and I know you got some special things planned. I watched your Twitter feed earlier, and I thought, oh, this is going to be good. But I want to drop this in because I thought this was so good. John Wolf put this out. Achievement unlocked. And it's true, man. I tell you, the thing is, King, that all of us in the community got behind you on this because it's from the heart, and it really became a rallying cry. I mean, when you have Aaron Greenberg wearing your shirt at conference, so I mean, it means something, and I know it means everything to you. And get your Iron Lord shirts. I'm buying mine soon.
That's right.
Make sure y'all do that. And King, talk to us.
I mean, Aaron has always been super supportive. Greeny he is, like you said, he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's a 100% honest and real dude. And I love everything that Greeny has done. He has done so much stuff in the backgrounds and in the foreground. Great stuff. Well, tune in tomorrow to Iron Lord podcast, where you can see me wear props like this. And this will be worn tomorrow. I can give you like a little heads up. This will be worn tomorrow. We see the little gems inside.
Nice.
Parappa the Rapper might make a debut.
Special appearance.
Or he might has that bout with Cuphead. But I do have some good stuff tomorrow. So it's Iron Lords podcast at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. lordsofgaming.net is the website. I do believe that we're better than IGN, even though we have friends at IGN. But
great writers
work with us. So, hey, get over there with us, and then I can big yell up. Like my boy Chris Jones. Chris is killing it. He put out his 100 article. I thought it was a brilliant piece of writing that he did in his young career. He didn't start out wanting to be a writer, but if you read the article, you will understand it. Now, also, if you go to the website, and I know you're probably looking around and saying, what are these things, these statues here? There's a tab that says Iron Lords Podcast. You can click it, and then there's KOS. So if you look at my name right there, KOS stands for King of the Statues. I'm not the King of the Statues, but everybody that collects are the kings of their statues. The same thing with Iron Lords Podcast. You are a lord in your world, and we want to celebrate you. So we have a lot of writers that come through, like Gene Park, which is a fantastic dude. We have a lot of game developers, people from different walks of life, doctors, lawyers. Hogue Law came on, Matt Piscatella. We have a ton of people that show up there. So tomorrow's going to be a real good day. But what I want from people is to go to my Twitter page. That's at King David OTW. And I gave out a free badge that was made by my good friend Ben Kenobi. And not Ben Kenobi, but Ben,
the other Ben,
the other Ben. Don't go there looking for Star Wars. And it's a patch, and I'm just asking people for 24 hours. It's a free patch. Just change your profile pic, show some solidarity. Let's all stand up together. Let's show, because this is a moment in time. This is a moment in history. Right now, $68 billion deals aren't the norm. Okay, and it's never going to be the norm. This is the white whale. This is what we're seeing here right now. And we want to mark this part in history. You did this. You were here. You saw it. I don't care what side of the fence you're on. You are a part of history. So come through. Have a good time. You won't be ostracized. We have a fun, good conversations, and it's going to be fun. I'm going to put on a good show tomorrow. And I just want everybody to keep it gaming. First of all, keep it gaming and have a good time. This is what it's Sunday. It's the Lord days. Have a great time. Just come through.
Yeah. And this is what it looks like. And we'll pop it up real quick. And it is available. And I put his link in the description below where you can go and get that. I've already done mine. I've already changed mine.
Great.
And it's just it's awesome.
King, a really great background too, as well. Like a nice white background with all the Activision characters and all the Xbox characters too.
Yeah. I got still
Ben putting the work in for sure.
Definitely. Silent Cypher, buddy, tell everybody where you're at, where they can reach out to you. Thank you so much for being here, sir. We greatly appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much for having me again. It's always fun to come hang out with you guys. King, always great to see you as well, sir. It's been a couple times now. I'm happy anytime that I get a heads up that I get to podcast with you. It's always been fun.
Thank you.
And obviously Rhetri, WEBDAVE, all of us, like we'll be talking outside of this and stuff. We're playing Fortnite. Hopefully, King.
Yep.
Hopefully we can get together with King sometime for some Fortnite as well.
Yeah.
That would be a blast. Dave, dude, I'm just saying, you got a controller there. If you ever want to play,
I can do it.
Fortnite,
I can do it.
Join us.
I might do it soon.
Come John Wicket. Come John Wicket.
Do it.
Awesome.
Do it.
But yeah, as far as where you can find me, obviously you can find me on Wednesdays at the Xbox International Podcast with my brothers Sour Blow and Crazy Louie Gaming. If you know the show, you know Crazy likes to get himself in trouble, so we put him in timeout all the time. Of which,
and Plume now, right? You got
and Plume
on normal.
Yes.
Yep,
and Plume as well. He's
Yep.
between what he's training baseball team, so he's doing like baseball team stuff one week, and then sometimes he's with us on the other Wednesdays, so he's there as well when he's got the time, when he's not doing some other more important or touching grass
as
moments,
right? Touching grass, right?
As it were,
breathing fresh air.
Breathing some fresh air. But yeah, so you can always catch us on Wednesdays, and then I will actually be this Wednesday night, I'll be jumping onto G-Wave's show right after our podcast on Wednesday as well. And I think his is at 9 p.m. my time. I think it's 11 Eastern.
Yeah, it's 11 Eastern for him. Yep.
Yeah, so I'll be joining with him. He actually just started his show a couple weeks ago now, so he's just fresh into it. So always cool to see new faces or returning faces back into the podcast side of things. Super excited to see all the different channels that are coming up, and it's an awesome community. I'm super stoked to be part of it. Love all you guys out there. It's been a blast getting to hang out with you guys all these years, even from back in like the olden days. Like we mentioned Major Nelson, right? Like it was mentioned in the chat, and it's like I remember back when I was listening to him and he was doing that show in his house. Like he was doing that from his house. Right. I remember when we started our show on Xbox Live is where we were recording our show. It's like we've all been through this for so long, and it's really cool to see the community that's formed and stayed over the years. So thank you again, guys, for having me. It's been awesome.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming, man. We appreciate
it. Tell everybody where they can find you real quick.
Yeah, me, Game Pass _daily on Twitter and Game Pass Daily on YouTube, guys. And of course, here every Sunday with WEBDAVE, and on Tuesdays with Boom on the Xbox Factor podcast at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Boom, Umbra, and Danny. And those guys are all great content creators as well. So thank you, King David, for coming out so much. I appreciate it so much. I can't stress it enough. We're definitely going to play some Fortnite for sure. Silent Cypher, of course. Thank you, brother, for coming out. And he plays with us in the community as well. And good show, Dave. This was a great first special episode for us. It was a big deal. We wanted to give back to the community because they've been so good to us. So I hope you guys in the chat enjoyed the show. Thank you all for coming out. Appreciate you. Thank you, God Emperor. Appreciate you, brother.
All right. Thank you, everybody. And thank you for signing up. Don't forget, we do have a show tomorrow. The Lord's Day is going to be big, big. You do not want to miss that show. And then later on in the afternoon, you can come check us out around is it 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? Yeah. So if you go watch Fonz, and when you get done watching Fonz, come jump over and watch us because you don't want to miss Fonz gaming. It's pretty good too. So guys, thank you all for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. Thanks for everybody being here at the Gamers Council.